I arrived at Thornhill Estate on a Tuesday, my car loaded with boxes. The 6-month Singapore project was over and I was coming home. The gate code didn't work. I tried 3 times before calling my sister Victoria. The code's been changed, I said. A pause. We need to talk. Can you meet me for coffee tomorrow? I'm at the gate now, with all my belongings. Another pause. Fine, give me a minute. The gate opened. I drove up the familiar driveway, past the oak trees, past Mom's fountain. Victoria's SUV was parked in front. So was Dad's truck, and a locksmith's van. I parked and got out. Through the windows, I could see Victoria's 3 children running through the house. Marcus, 14, carried boxes upstairs. The twins argued in the hallway. Victoria appeared on the porch, composed and prepared. You changed the gate code, I said. We needed to update security. Without telling me. You've been gone 6 months. I moved toward the door, but Victoria blocked me. We should talk out here first. Why? That's what we need to discuss. Dad emerged, wiping his hands. Sophia, you're back early. My contract ended on schedule. Right, well, your sister and I have been talking. About what? Victoria crossed her arms. About the estate. About what makes sense for the family. Through the doorway, I saw the locksmith installing a new deadbolt. One of the twins ran past with a stuffed animal. Why is there a locksmith here? I asked. Security upgrade. The old locks were original. And why are your kids running around like they own the place? Because we're moving in, permanently. I looked at Dad. He just looked away. The house is too big for just Dad. Victoria said, he's 72. He needs family. My marriage ended. The kids need stability. This is perfect. Perfect for who? For everyone. Dad gets companionship. We get space. And me? Victoria's expression hardened. You've been gone 6 months. Before that, Boston for 2 years. Before that, New York. You visit twice a year. I grew up here. Was your home? Dad said quietly. Your sister's right. She's here. She takes care of me. You just visit. So you're kicking me out? Don't be dramatic. Victoria said, you have your career. You don't need this place. But you do. Yes, my kids do. Dad does. Where are my things? Boxed up in the guest cottage. You can collect them whenever. You packed my room without asking. You weren't here. Dad finally met my eyes. Time to move on, Sophia. You're 35. You have a career, an apartment. This place is for family who actually lives here. I am family. You're not welcome here, Victoria said. Not as a resident. You can visit for holidays. But this is our home now. The locksmith handed Victoria the keys. She pocketed them without offering me one. You should probably go. We have unpacking to do. I looked at Dad one more time. He just walked back inside. I smiled. In my purse was a document I'd been carrying since I turned 30. Interesting, I said. Victoria's eyes narrowed. What's interesting? The timing, the assumptions. I pulled out my phone and dialed Estate Security. Thornhill Estate Security, this is dispatch. This is Sophia Bennett. I need a team at the main house immediately. Unauthorized occupants and a lock change situation. Victoria went pale. What are you doing? My job, as the owner. Owner? Dad owns this property. No, I do. The dispatcher confirmed, ma'am, we show you as the primary owner. Do you need law enforcement? Not yet. Just send the team with the master key system. Dad reappeared. Sophia, what's going on? When's the last time you paid property taxes? He blinked. Victoria handles that. Victoria, when did you last pay taxes? Her silence was answer enough. I've been paying them for 5 years. $38,000 annually, plus insurance, security, maintenance contracts. Victoria found her voice. That's not possible. Paid off doesn't mean free. There are taxes, insurance, upkeep. Who did you think paid for it? The estate account, Dad said weakly, which ran dry 3 years after Mom died. I've been covering everything. 2 black SUVs with security logos turned into the driveway. Victoria stepped forward. Dad, tell them to leave. But Dad was staring at me. The documents, the ones you had me sign. I thought they were estate planning. They were transfer papers. Mom left the estate to me. She knew I'd take care of it. I've paid every bill for 5 years while working around the world. The security leader approached. Ms. Bennett, we received your alert about unauthorized lock changes. This is my sister, Victoria, and my father, David. They're residents, but they changed locks without my authorization. We'll need to rekey everything, and I'll need new authorization lists. Victoria's voice shook. You can't do this. Dad lives here. And they're welcome to stay, as residents, not owners. A woman with a tablet stepped forward. Ms. Bennett, I have property records. The deed transfer from Margaret Bennett to Sophia Bennett was recorded 5 years ago. You're the sole owner. David Bennett has a life estate clause. Dad sat down heavily on the porch steps. A life estate. That's what that meant. It means you can live here as long as you want, I said gently. It means you're protected, taken care of. It means no one can force you out. But it also means you don't own it. I do. Victoria's hands clenched. This is insane. You tricked him. I did nothing of the kind. Mom's will was clear. Dad signed the papers with his attorney present. Everything was legal and transparent. The only person who didn't know was you, because it wasn't your business. Not my business. This is my family home. No, it's my property. You've been living here rent-free at my discretion, eating food I've indirectly paid for through Dad's grocery account that I fund, using electricity and water I pay for, enjoying a home I maintain. The security team was already working on the locks. The locksmith looked confused, caught between two competing authorities, until the security leader showed him documentation that made it clear who was actually in charge. Marcus came to the door, sensing the tension. Mom, what's happening? Victoria's eyes filled with tears. Your aunt is kicking us out. I'm doing no such thing, I said firmly. But we are establishing boundaries. This is my property. Dad lives here under a life estate. You and your children are guests. Welcome guests, but guests nonetheless. Dad looked up at me. All these years you've been paying for everything? Yes. Why didn't you tell me? Because Mom asked me not to. She knew you'd feel guilty. She knew you'd try to refuse help. So she left the estate to me with instructions to take care of you quietly, to let you feel independent while making sure you were secure. But the bills, the taxes. I have a good job, Dad. A very good job. The consulting work pays well. I can afford it. That's not the point, Victoria interjected. You let us think this was ours. You let me make plans, move my family in. You never asked, I said. You assumed. You changed locks on a property you don't own. You packed up my belongings without permission. You kicked out the actual owner while installing your children in her childhood bedroom. The security leader cleared his throat. Ms. Bennett, we've reset the primary locks. You'll need to decide on the access list. I looked at Victoria, at her children watching from inside, at Dad sitting on the steps looking older and more confused than I'd ever seen him. Dad stays on the full access list, I said. Victoria and the children can have guest codes that I approve. The guest cottage is theirs if they want it, but the main house remains Dad's residence and my property. The guest cottage? Victoria's voice was sharp. We have 3 kids. We can't fit in the guest cottage. Then you'll need to find alternative housing. I'm happy to give you time to look. 30 days seems reasonable. 30 days. Where am I supposed to go? You're a resourceful person, Victoria. You'll figure it out, just like you figured out how to change my locks. Dad stood slowly. Sophia, this is harsh. Your sister just left her husband. The kids need stability. And they'll have it, but not by stealing my home. Not by locking me out of my own property. Not by assuming they're entitled to something someone else owns and maintains. I turned to the security leader. Set up the new access codes. I want a record of everyone who enters and exits. And I want the master key system secured. Already done, ma'am. Victoria looked at Dad desperately. Are you going to let her do this? Dad rubbed his face. It's her property, Vicky. Apparently it has been for 5 years. But she was never here. And yet she paid for everything, he said quietly. Every single thing. While I sat here thinking the estate was running itself. I pulled out the document from my purse, the deed, the transfer papers, the life estate clause, and handed it to Dad. Mom wanted you protected, I said. She wanted you to have a home for as long as you needed it. That's why she gave me the estate. Not because she loved you less, but because she knew I'd make sure you were taken care of. He read the papers slowly, his hands trembling slightly. I signed this. I remember now. The attorney said it was to protect me. It was. It did. And it still does. You can live here forever if you want. That's your right. But Victoria is welcome as a guest. Her children are welcome as guests, but they don't get to change my locks and claim my home while I'm working overseas to pay for it. The twins appeared beside Marcus, all three children looking uncertain. They'd gone from excited about their new rooms to confused about why security was there and why the adults were arguing. I softened my voice. The guest cottage is actually quite nice. It has 3 bedrooms, a full kitchen, a living room. Victoria and the kids would fit comfortably. Victoria wiped her eyes. I thought this was family property. I thought we all had equal claim. Family doesn't mean equal ownership. It means equal love, equal respect. But you didn't give me that. You changed locks, packed my things, and told me I wasn't welcome, all while living on my property on my dime. Dad handed me back the papers. I'm sorry. I should have known. Should have asked more questions. You were grieving. Victoria was helping you. I was okay being in the background as long as everything was taken care of. But now everyone knows the truth. Now we establish clear boundaries. Now we all understand what's real and what was assumed. The security team finished their work and handed me a set of keys, the master keys to my own property. Keys I'd never actually held before because I'd never needed them. Victoria gathered her children. Come on, let's go to the cottage. Can we still use the pool? One of the twins asked. I looked at Victoria, then at the children. Yes, you can use the pool and the gardens, and you're welcome to have dinner with Grandpa in the main house. But you sleep in the cottage, and you remember that this isn't your property. After they left, Dad and I sat on the porch steps together. The security team was packing up, their work done. I feel like a fool, Dad said. You're not a fool. You're a widower who trusted his children. That's not foolish. I let Victoria convince me you didn't care about this place. I've always cared. I just cared from a distance. That's different from not caring. Will you stay, now that you're back? I thought about my apartment in the city, my consulting work that took me around the world, the life I'd built away from Thornhill. Sometimes, when I can, but I'll keep paying the bills, keeping everything running, and making sure you're taken care of. Like you have been all along. Like I promised Mom I would. He put his arm around my shoulders. She chose well. I see that now. Inside the house, I could see my old bedroom where Victoria's daughter had been setting up her things. Tomorrow, those things would move to the guest cottage. Tomorrow, my room would be mine again, when I chose to use it. But tonight, I'd probably sleep in the city, because proving ownership wasn't the same as feeling at home. The security team leader approached one more time. Ms. Bennett, we've updated all our records. You're confirmed as primary contact and owner. If there are any more unauthorized changes, we'll alert you immediately. Thank you. After they left, I walked through the house with Dad. Victoria had already made changes, new furniture in the living room, different curtains, a kid's playroom set up in what used to be Mom's study. Some of this can stay, I said, if it makes the house more livable for you, but major changes need my approval. Understood. And Dad, I meant what I said. You can live here as long as you want. That's not negotiable. Mom made sure of it, and so will I. He nodded, emotion thick in his voice. Your mother was a smart woman. She was. She knew how to protect the people she loved. Through the window, I could see Victoria and the kids moving things into the guest cottage. It would be cramped, uncomfortable, a far cry from the sprawling bedrooms they claimed in the main house. But it was generous, considering what they tried to do. My phone buzzed. A text from Victoria. I'm sorry, I really thought Dad owned this place. It typed back. Assumptions are expensive, now you know. She didn't respond. I stood in the doorway of my old bedroom, looking at the boxes Victoria had packed, my childhood, my memories, hastily stuffed into cardboard by someone who thought I didn't belong here. But I did belong. Not because I lived here, but because I owned it, because I'd maintained it, because Mom had trusted me with it. The estate was mine. It always had been. The difference was, now everyone knew.